White label versus co-branded agent training program. What's right for your brokerage or team?
Let's talk about that today on the Wandering But Not Lost podcast. Welcome to Wandering But Not Lost, your online source for finding balance so that you can align, connect, and prosper. And now your hosts, Jan O'Brien and Matt Emerson. Welcome, everyone, to the WBNL Wandering But Not Lost podcast, where we align, connect, and prosper. This is episode 350, and you can find all those show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. So, hey, Jan O'Brien, clap your hands to 350 episodes. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's a nice, cool, even number, isn't it?
It is. It is. And, let's do 350 more.
We're halfway to 700. That's what I was about to say.
Which, with the number of podcasts we're doing right now, that'll be done by the end of the year. No problem.
All right. I love it. Well, we are focusing on our real estate teams and brokers today. So if you are a broker or a team leader or maybe a trainer or a coach who's going online searching for things like white label real estate agent training or onboarding systems or training programs for my brokerage or team, you're in the right place, right? So here's what we're going to break down today in this episode, Epic 350. What is a white label training program actually? What's the difference between white labeling and co-branding options? We're going to talk a little bit about common onboarding pain points when you bring in a new agent on, or not new, meaning new to your company or team. And then how to decide what works best for your brokerage or team. So we're really addressing folks that don't have a training program, or maybe you have something or you loosely do something, but you really want to have some more structure. And then we're going to talk to you obviously about how we have the Real Estate Sales Builder Foundational Training Program, and then we built a certification program around that will offer these options. But we're going to get into, diving into hopefully the pain points, the things that you're looking for. We've already had a podcast about how you can build a training program, which is not in everybody's best interest generally, because who has time for that? We had time for that when we built our training programs, because after all, we do have a real estate coaching company, right? So that's what we're going to cover today.
Yeah. So let's start off with just the question, what the heck is a white label in the first place? What is that training all about? Because I think, people have a general idea, but let's dive a little deeper into that and talk about some of the options that are available. So the quick definition of it really is just a white label agent training program is a done for you course or curriculum that can be fully branded as your own. That means your name, your logo, kind of your essence, really. So it really is your training system, which is, we'll talk about all the reasons why that's a pro and a con as we go through today. But here's the key difference from the, off the shelf or the do-it-yourself training model, which I think a lot of people want to go down when they are starting to think about, the training that they're doing. So, white label training is customizable to reflect your unique process. So what's happening in your market area, in your company, and what's going on with you. And it saves you from building every lesson out yourself, every slide, every checklist from the ground up. So huge time savings from the white label. And best of all, it feels like you built it. That is our goal when we white label, is that we want it, when we turn it over, we want it to feel like, you have just done this all yourself, but without all that time and pressure, even though you didn't have to build it, right? So with the white label, you're not just getting content, you're getting kind of a framework that you can own. And that's the huge deal. That's a huge deal when it comes to agent trust and your brand authority.
Exactly. So let's talk about why training really does matter for brokerage and teams. And having a formal training, I think, is completely key. You need it in the recruiting aspect, because agents, even though most of them aren't going to actually go and do all the training, especially if you just have it online, they are looking for that. And what we find, a lot of brokers and team leaders that we talk to, they're just doing event training, meaning like when somebody says that they need help with something, all right, let's put an impromptu webinar together, or we're going to talk about this week. And there's no structure. Okay. Right. So and the challenge with that, and the reason why most people who reach out to us, or why they're looking for a solution, is they're busy too. Unless they're just a broker, But if they're a working broker and a working team leader, they're out there trying to recruit to their team or brokerage, run it, handle the compliance, handle all the back end of running a team or a brokerage, and motivating, coaching, and managing your agents. Some people are trying to do that on their own, and so that's really what the challenge is. So these common pain points are having to repeat the same lessons over and over again, because when it comes down to it, agents are needing the same information, right?
Yeah.
Agents falling through the cracks. So you're maybe very good at recruiting somebody, promising I'm gonna be your coach. We're gonna get together whenever you need to, but that doesn't always work out. And agents need help when they need help. When they need help is when they're like, I got a deal right now, and can you stop everything and help me? Well, that you can get rid of a lot of those. Got a minute? Can you stop everything you're doing and help me write an offer, or help me work with what I have to do, by having a really structured onboarding program and training program and some mentoring and coaching and things around it, right? Because otherwise you'll be constantly just repeating everything, and agents will start to feel like they're not supported, and then they'll be coming in the door and then out the door, right? You can start to feel burned out trying to lead and train at the same time. There's lots of solutions here, but you can't do it all. And that's probably one of the keys. And we talk about that in our programs. You got to find somebody. If you're not a trainer, you got to find somebody who's going to be the trainer.
That's right.
A lot of solutions. It could be another agent. It could be a senior agent. That could be your mentors. We've done it all. And we talk you through all that when we're having a consultation with you about how to do it. So that's why a great training system, white label or co-branded, can really transform your retention, which is really important, your overall brand, ultimately your profitability and your growth. So because when your agents feel supported, they're going to produce more. They're going to stay longer. They'll refer other people to you. We also know that struggle is really real, because as I'm mentioning, you're trying to juggle all these things. So this is where considering a white label or a co-branded option might be in your best interest.
Yeah, so let's talk about the kind of differences between a white label and a co-brand, because there's a lot of similarities, but there's very, very big differences to it as well. A white label, of course, is fully branded as your own. So you host it on your platform, or in our situation, we could host it on ours if you prefer. And this choice is kind of unique, because a lot of times when you are offered a white label program, it's built for you and you have it. But the ability for us to actually host it for you can give you even more flexibility. So that kind of sets us apart a little bit. It's completely editable and customizable, so you can go in and make changes. Not so much to the videos, unless you have a whole video team on your side, but the documentation you can really, really make your own if you want to do that. So
or add your own videos.
Exactly, or add your own videos. That's right. So it's really you get the meat and potatoes, but you can add the gravy. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but you can do that. So this is great for larger teams or brokerages that want full control and full alignment with their brand. Now, as far as co-branding goes, we host it here on our back end. Which kind of takes that pressure off you having to worry about having to do any of that. Your brand is integrated into key areas. So in our particular situation, you're branded across the landing page that you go to your agents go to actually access the training. Certain documents are rebranded to you as well. And then much of what's going on within the actual website itself is branded to your look and feel and your color. So it feels very much like you were a part of building that out. There's a whole huge lower upfront investment in co-branding part of it. And the great part about it being hosted on someone else's site is you don't really have to deal with any of that financial part either. Our system takes care of the dollars that come in. So this is really best for small teams or fast start, scenarios where you want to launch quickly and just, literally within a couple of weeks, you could have your whole training program up and running, and you don't want to deal with any of the tech issues or any of the back end issues that come with doing your own platform on your own site.
And obviously, we offer both a white label and a co-branded option, and it really is going to come down to what your goals are. Do you want it to be over with you? There are over 110 videos, so there is a very big upfront cost to have those completely rebranded. The raw footage has to be completely redone, so it takes out all the WBNL coaching. So there's a definite investment. So that really makes sense for the larger brokerages that don't have independents, that don't have a training program already. The co-branded is just as powerful, very, very, very much completely affordable. And then you or the agents are just paying for every time you hire someone. There's a fee to get a license, And so on the other side, when we're doing licensing, it depends. Again, we negotiate, and again, we're not going to talk about numbers here. You can go to our page and see more. But if you're interested in the total white label, we got to talk to you about what you're looking for, what the situation is, what our costs are, and what that can be. And we'll do that all in a consulting one-on-one consultation that'll be designed for you.
Yeah, because everybody is a little bit different, and we don't like to have the whole one-size-fits-all kind of situation here with our company. So if you're on the fence, here's a few questions you can ask yourself to help you land on the right fit. And the first question is just, do I want to own and host my own training program? And, for all the reasons we already talked about, and some more that we will, that's a pretty heavy question, because it sounds easy, but you may flip-flop back and forth on that 10,000 times before you come to your answer. But keep asking that question, because that's what it's all about. Do you want to be responsible for the whole thing and build that whole thing out? It's process. Is brand consistency and customization important to me? Hugely, that's a big deal about how you want to get in and do your brand on that. I'm going to just say this. The white labeling is fantastic because it's great to have your own branded program. I have also found that sometimes bringing a third-party training program into your company can actually have huge validity to it as well. So there is a pro to having the co-brand. So just think about all that. And that's what things that, once again, when Jan said, when we sit down for a consultation, we can talk to you about what's really going to be best for you to help you grow to where you want to get, right? Am I looking for something that's ready to go right now? Right, because if you are white labeling, or if you're not even if you still are back at that whole, I'm going to build my own training program.
Give yourself 6 months.
At the very least 6 months, and it's going to take. It is a lot to do. So that is a great question to ask, and really get your timeline into place. And then the reason, really, all these questions get down to why do you want that at a certain time, or why do you want that right now? And maybe that's part of your hang up right there. So that could help you out. Do I have a team member or admin who can help manage the program, or do I want it managed for me? So those are questions you need to really know. Your answers, will usually point you in one direction or another. But here's the twist. Neither option works without leadership. And that's why we recreated our Real Estate Sales Builder Certification course, which helps you train your mentors and managers to lead the program effectively, right? Because that is really the key to agent success. So I guess another question you need to ask up there, do you just want a training program to have a training program, or do you want a training program to actually train your agents? Because that's kind of, in our opinion, kind of the goal that you should probably be looking for there. Because even the best content can't replace a strong guide in the local market.
Exactly. And so we did design Real Estate Sales Builder first. That is the foundational agent training program. And then a couple of years ago is when Matt and I were getting all these inquiries with people that were brokers and teams that were like, hey, we want to use this, we want to figure out how we can use your training program with our folks. And so that then took a little bit, and we had to put it all together. So we literally created another training program to train the trainer, as Matt just said.
Yeah.
Train your trainers, your coaches, your mentors, however you're going to do it. And that program is, your choices are basically to just get our program without doing any kind of co-branding, and you just want it right off the shelf with WBNL Coaching's training, or a way that you co-brand, and then the white label, as we've just talked about here in this episode. So it's flexible. In the certification training, we really literally walk through videos. Matt and I are covering everything from how do you use our material? There's a coach manual in there, how to run every class, all of the recommendations of way we've done the training. We've seen other brokers and teams do it, so that it's not just putting people in front of the computer and watching the recorded videos. That is not a recipe for success. So we talk you through how to do all that, how to hold your agents accountable, how to coach them, how to get them fired up and getting out there hands-on working. how to use it as a marketing, Matt put a whole module together on tools that you can get and things you can use for recruiting and marketing and retaining your own agents with it. I walk through all the best coaching stuff I use over the years. So you get all that, a lot of materials, plus you get one user license with the Sales Builder in it so you can see it. And then we'll talk in a one-on-one consultation. We can talk about the various ways that we can partner with you. But the content is proven, it's practical, it's real world. It's what we've used for our training and our companies and all the years we've been doing this real estate business. It's designed to help your agents build that foundation, create business systems so that they really treat their real estate business as a true business and not just a sales business, so they can actually get out and start producing and not just sit around watching videos. That's what we got.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So whether you're building a brokerage, you're scaling a team, or just tired of saying the same thing 50 times a week, training matters.
And we'd love to talk to you about it. So if you're considering building a real estate team, brokerage, or you have one and you don't have a solid training program that's going to give your agents what they need to get out there and be producing, then reach out to us. You can call us. You can just go to WBNLcoaching.com. You can click on the broker page. There's also a team. We also have, we're not talking about that today, but we have a whole team builder program telling you how to build a team. But you can book a discovery call with us. You can fill out the form. We'll get back to you. We'll set it up so that we can sit down, learn about you, do a free consulting coaching session, learn about what your goals are, then talk about and design the best program for you. Okay, well, that's what we've got for today. So thanks for listening. And as always, stay aligned, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next episode.